Hello. So we're just out on a bit of a Sunday jaunt, Bianca and myself. We're just up at Winnie Creek. My back's kind of sore because the suspension's a little bit rough. She's rough because there's no weight in it, and I didn't let the tyres down, which is out of character for me. Usually I do. I like to take care of the car and that, but the compressor has blown a fuse and I can't find the fuse because I have a man look and I can't find it, pretty much. But I might do the first of many brief rig rundowns. So I drive a 2008 76 Series Landcruiser wagon. That's there. We call her Dusty because when we bought her, she was an ex-mine spec ball drive. By that I mean it had a wiring harness for a beacon, it had a roll cage, and it was full of red dust, thus her name. And so we cleaned her out. It came standard with the rear bar, the front bar, side bars, cheap mud terrain tyres, roll cage, cargo barrier, and that's about it. So she was pretty bog standard apart from that, with 2-inch lift. That's not bog standard, but yeah. Since then what we've done is I've just tried to improve the running of it. So all we've done is the catch can, inline fuel filter, that we've put a new stereo in it with the GPS and all that sort of stuff too. What else have we done? We've done CV radio, new shocks, pillar pod with the EGR and boost gauge, battery gauge. Got a BCDC charger from Red Arc. Bit of a story with that I'll tell you later. We've got the cruiser consoles. They're awesome. Thing about the Toyota, I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with them, is that they don't give you a lot for the money you spend on them. For example, the rear axle extension, you have to spend a lot of money to extend it. What they've done is they've widened the front axle to fit the V8 in it. That's all good and well, but they didn't do it on the back, so it just makes a different tyre tracking and stuff. It's a bit ordinary driving through sand. It does it, but it's not great. And I think it only does it because of the extra oomph under the bonnet. So before I forget, I've got a 3-inch steel redback exhaust. I might get Bianca to rev it so you can see and hear it. It goes alright. It does sound pretty good, particularly when it's underwater crossing a river. So just about to give it a bit of a rev. Give it more. Yeah, button it. So yeah, she's a bit sooty, but she sounds good. So I've got all the breathers on the diff and gearbox. Dual battery system. I've got a worn 12,000 pound winch. Used it a couple of times, but generally she's pretty good. Don't really need it. My silly driving stage is more or less over. Not completely over. Still do some stupid stuff occasionally. What I would like to do is get rid of those. By those I mean the leaves. The whole drive up here, my spine is compressing. I would love to do a core conversion, just to make it handle better, drive better, a bit more capable as well off-road. Never been a huge fan of leaves. I mean, we came from a 105 Landcruiser, so go from a lazy boy armchair to a bar stool. Yeah, it's a bit ordinary. She's also got a 170 litre long range fuel tank. That came with the car. That's been pretty awesome. We haven't had any problems with it. My father-in-law has a car like it. Same year, same model, virtually. So I think it was the start of the 2000, or the end of the 2008. The start. It's got the old style dash. Essentially the same car. He's got a Brown & Davis fuel tank. He's had problems with it, which is unusual because they do some pretty good kit. But generally, he's had some troubles with it leaking. The only problem I've had with mine is that the breather valve on it was cracked. So when we went up to Cape York for we did a Cape York trip on the road for 7 weeks, and we had vapor lock. So we're pulling over every 5 minutes. Oh, no, that's an exaggeration. It was every now and again, and it was just an inopportune moment. It would just cough and die. And we had a bit of bad fuel as well. We also had the BCDC charger again. Red Arc do some awesome stuff, and I was just the unlucky one that got the 1 in 1 million unit that just didn't work. They were fairly unapologetic about it, which kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but the unit, like the gear itself, is pretty good. And that caused a few little dramas and mishaps as well. The whole thing wasn't running very well, running from Porcupine Gorge up to Atherton Tablelands. Anyway, yeah, so that's getting off target a bit. The car itself, so I've got some work lights on the back that I did myself. I'm going to redo them again. I don't like them. I don't like the way I've done them. So after using them for a while, they're a bit clanky. So I'm going to redo them, make them a bit nice, a bit more simple. Got a reversing camera as well. So that's it there on the bar. Never not have a reversing camera. It's awesome. It is so good. We've particularly, it just makes you look like a professional when you're trying to reverse up onto the hitch of the trailer. Particularly when people can't see the camera. Okay, that guy can drive. Can't, but makes me look good. Yeah, so also running on the car. She's a bit messy, but I put these on. Just a bit of extra storage. So they're pretty plain Jane when you get them. You know, like they turn it off. They're pretty plain Jane. Like you don't get a lot for the money. So it's a workmate. It's vinyl everything, which is good to clean and stuff. But it's not that great. These are good, but they're sweaty as all get out. So we're going to probably change them. And they're also bone-chillingly cold in winter. So we're giving them the flick this year, I think, eh, babe?
Yeah, definitely.
So here we have switches for the spotties. light bar, which I don't have anymore, but I'm looking to maybe put one on eventually. ARB compressor came with the car. It's, as I mentioned before, not really working at the moment, just because I may have blown a fuse. One weekend I went out with the boys from work and it just decided to not work anymore. You get that? So I'll just add that to the list of stuff that I've got to do. So pardon the man shake and everything else in the back of the car. It's all pretty bog standard. Need to clean it out. So one last thing is the back. So just to save money and weight for my back storage, my father-in-law did the same thing. Works pretty good. We used it non-stop on our high country trip, and it was a cracker. It worked really well. It cost virtually, maybe, I don't know, what did it cost me? Maybe $100 worth of materials, if that. And all it is just like a square tube with plastic connectors, and voila. Bit of ply, and I just sort of made little tunnels. Like, it's, you know, solid. Like, it doesn't look it, but trust me, it's solid. We had a fair bit of weight underneath it. We just put the tubs underneath there for drawers, stuff around the side. Again, part of the mess. All I've been doing is working. I haven't been playing, just all work stuff. And yeah, we just put our tables and chairs up here and strap stuff to the cargo barrier. I can run a fridge in the back. Haven't yet. Again, to-do list. Speaking of which, so future projects is table. I want to run a full-time custom setup, drawers and storage in the back. So what I would like to do is run a fully independent lithium setup in the back to run any charging gear, so for the GoPro and stuff, for the computer, drone, whatnot, and the fridge, running it all off a solar panel on the roof, and that way it just leaves the dual battery system in the engine bay to do its thing, running the car and excess power if I need it. The lithium setup is just an all-round better setup, and I want to run an inverter too, so I'll have it all married together so it can support each other, so I can run a coffee machine if I really want to, if I'm feeling a bit wanky. But yeah, just want a better setup for long-term travel. So I need to do some research. I need to have a look at who does what for what price, and then if there's nothing out there that I like or can afford, I'll have a crack at making it myself. So I want something that's pretty much going to take up most of the space in here. Fridge, pull down slide, and then draw. And then like a little shelf sort of up here maybe, for storing and charging stuff, electricals. I don't know. I have to sit down and actually draw it out and whatnot. So anyway, but that's what we sort of think about doing. So yeah, future mods of the car, probably this will go and be tidied up a bit better. I would love to do a coil conversion. I would love clear view side steps. Clear view mirrors is definitely going to happen. some more lights, better rear storage, and possibly if we head out on our travels, we might pull the back seat out. If we're going with the dogs, I'll put a dog cage in there. They can pretty much have the back seat run to themselves, and then maybe have possibly a box built underneath it, so they'll sit on top of that, and then I can use that as storage or a battery box. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I could think of for the rundown of the car, the first one of many, I'm guessing.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, might get back on the road and get away from the flies.